Nvidia held its annual shareholder meeting and revealed critical insights for long-term investors. In particular, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang made some pretty amazing statements that should alleviate some investor concern with Nvidia stock. I'll talk about what the CEO said and the big concern it addresses for Nvidia stock investors.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang said that other than artificial intelligence, robotics represents the chip maker's biggest market for potential growth, and that self-driving cars would be the first major commercial application for the technology. We have many growth opportunities across our company, with AI and robotics the two largest, representing multi-trillion-dollar growth opportunity, the CEO said at Wednesday's NVIDIA annual shareholder meeting. So that's a pretty amazing statement from the NVIDIA CEO. And this is something I've been talking about for over a year now. I've talked about how the data center growth that's optimized for artificial intelligence, that's likely to continue booming for at least another year, probably closer to 3 years, maybe even 5 years. But I've also talked about the next catalyst for NVIDIA's growth beyond the data centers optimized for artificial intelligence. And I talked about robotics and especially driverless car technology and how that could be the next driver for NVIDIA's growth. And I talked about how if investors are bullish on driverless car technology, how NVIDIA stock would be a great way to play that trend rather than investing in something that's overvalued like Tesla stock. NVIDIA is in a great position to benefit from that trend. As the company stated here, it's one of the areas where it will benefit. So in May, NVIDIA said that the business unit that includes the automotive segment had 567 million in quarterly sales. It's still a very small fraction of the company's overall revenue, but automotive and robotics was up 72% on an annual basis. So it's already growing very quickly, and NVIDIA has already partnered with companies like Mercedes to incorporate NVIDIA's GPUs in the technology that's developing driverless cars. So there are many companies already developing driverless car technology. Um, Mercedes, one of them, Alphabet's Waymo, the other company, already delivering thousands and thousands of driverless car rides in the United States. And then you have even more in China that are offering driverless technology. So driverless cars already on the roads today. I'm forecasting they will continue expanding. Uh, Whether it's Tesla or other companies, driverless car technology is advancing, and NVIDIA stands to benefit from that trend, and it could be the next driver of growth. It's not going to be in the next year, it's not going to be in the next 2 or 3 years, but perhaps 5 years later, as the growth rates in artificial intelligence data centers is slowing down, that could be the next catalyst to lift NVIDIA's profits higher in future years. And I mentioned that it alleviates one of the biggest risks for investors, and that big risk is that sales growth in particular would slow down for Nvidia considerably following the slowdown of the growth in data centers optimized for AI. So that's a big risk facing investors right now, is they're concerned that if they invest in Nvidia stock today, that 2 years from now or 3 years from now, its growth rates will slow down and might turn negative even following the build out of these data centers optimized for AI. But that's why that this statement from Nvidia CEO should alleviate some of those concerns. And it's not just a statement. The company's already delivering excellent growth in that category and has already demonstrated the technology in that category is in high demand. And you're already seeing tangible evidence of the success. So NVIDIA right now, as I've pulled up this chart from fiscal.ai, where there's a link in the description if you want access to these kinds of charts for financial analysis. NVIDIA is trading at a forward price to earnings of 32. And Nvidia stock would be trading at a higher PE ratio if there wasn't that concern from investors about the cliff that it might face in revenue when the development of these data centers optimized for AI slows down. And so investors will be watching this segment closely in driverless car technology and robotics and what Nvidia calls physical AI, real world AI, and using that technology as the next catalyst for growth. And that's one of the main reasons why I invested in Nvidia stock. I'm optimistic about the prospects of the data centers optimized for artificial intelligence. That category continues to grow with companies, the hyperscalers, investing hundreds of billions of dollars to develop. But I'm also optimistic about driverless car technology being the next catalyst for NVIDIA. And it doesn't need to be full-blown driverless cars, right? I don't think every individual is going to want to take driverless car rides, but I think every individual could benefit from assisted driving, uh, better cruise control, better lane assist technology, better safety features, better parking assistance. And those kinds of things embedded inside vehicles will require an increase in technology, will require an increase in computing power, and all of that will benefit NVIDIA. Even if it's not like full blown, complete driverless cars and all the cars on the roads are driverless, right? It doesn't have to be that way. In fact, it can be just progress on that front, increase in safety due to the increase in technology, increase in awareness inside of your vehicle that can help prevent some of the most serious injuries from car crashes because your technology inside your vehicle can help uh, push the brakes when you don't see something happening or turn your wheel in a certain direction that can limit the damage from a car crash. All of which are features that consumers would be willing to pay for to have in their cars. And that's something that will benefit NVIDIA. So, pretty amazing statements here from NVIDIA CEO and positive news for NVIDIA stock investors to be sure.
Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time and a lot of other videos you could be watching. So I truly appreciate that you chose to watch this one. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the subscribe or the like button. They'll both help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again.